Hello. For this response, I had to consider my original first language, Spanish, um, kind of along the lines of my second language too, because as I started learning more English around 3 years old, it slowly started becoming more of my second language, especially in the area of writing. So I wanted to explore how this structure was affected. Um, Especially in writing, I would have trouble with con los verbos, especially once I started seeing in my Spanish classes when it came to, and still to this day, I have to double, think twice about this when it's changing from C or S or Z. That's where I start having some difficulty. For example, even in homophones. So if I think of casar, I have to remember which one is the hunting and which one is to marry. So if I think se están casando, from casar to casando, with the S would be to get married, and with the Z would be to hunt. And also the same thing would happen when I was going for nouns, making them in plural form. So, for example, el lápiz becoming lápices. Well, I was used to the English, for example, adding s or es, like for example, cats or bridges. I would add the es in bridges, and so with lápices, okay, well, I'm going to add the es, but I had to remember, wait a minute, something has to change, and I have to change the z to a c, and then add es. I couldn't just do the regular rule I was trying to transfer in my writing. And of course, then I had, I wanted to use the barbarismos, that we grew up with around here. So nobody would really say coche or auto. So I wanted to say carro because everybody would say carro. And before it was accepted, I was already using that often. And my aunt would correct me often from Monterrey. She'd say, no, no, así no se dice es un automóvil o el auto, el coche, So we got those kinds of corrections growing up too from our relatives. But it's odd because I don't really consider Spanish my second language, but as I have to observe my language story, as we were once told by Dr. Guajardo, is to think about your language story. I had the sad realization that, yeah, it slowly did become my second language, especially in the area of writing. But so I thought that was just, what I had reflected on through this question.